I could have stopped him. I could have stopped him. It's me. It's me. Definitely my fault.
At Pro Box TV on behalf of his fighter, seeking to overturn the result in the ring. From a draw to, of course, a knockout, TKO, or disqualification.
Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. Good fight. Good, very competitive fight, which I knew, which I anticipated. I said it.
Gervonta Davis lost his cool after reports said that Lamont Roach's draw was changed to a loss. Upset by this decision, he shared his frustration, admitting, "It's definitely my fault."
I could have stopped him. I could have stopped him. It's me. It's me. Definitely my fault. Definitely my fault. It's all right. You know what I mean? You live and you learn. I definitely could have. That was on me too. That was on me for sure. Because I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up. And I could have definitely did more. Definitely did more. Just a lot going on. But again, it was myself, you know. But you gotta go to the gym and, you know, get back to the drawing board and, you know, train a little harder.
Lamont Roach shared that during their fight, Gervonta Davis told him he wouldn't win, and that the judges wouldn't side with him. Roach said it was hard to accept, admitting that boxing often favors fighters with bigger names and financial backing. He expressed his frustration, recognizing that influence plays a big role, with well-backed fighters usually winning regardless of their performance. Despite this, Roach remains determined but knows how tough it is to compete against fighters who have strong promotional and financial support in boxing.
Something funny, when we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking shit, right? But he like, "You ain't gonna win." I said, "Why not? What you talking about?" He like, "They ain't gonna give it to you." I said, "Oh, is that right?" So, you know, that's how boxing work. It's sad to say, you know, that's how boxing work. I'm not like totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much on paper. But shit, I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna give me a split decision win. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh shit, here it go. But as soon as I heard that 114, I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with it. So yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's okay. We gonna run it back. It's okay.
After the controversial draw between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., New York acknowledged a review mistake that impacted the 9th-round knockdown call. The commission admitted to the error and confirmed an investigation was underway. Fans and analysts kept debating the result, with many believing Roach should have been declared the winner.
Override his decisions or knockdowns. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis's call benefited Davis unfairly, but we do not subscribe to that notion. In our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism, only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury, which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey, look, Steve Willis he didn't call it a knockdown.
You take a knee like that looks like a knockdown. All right.
So I think it's going to be very difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to review this and then call it a knockdown. Because here's the thing. The fight could have gone completely differently if Gervonta was told that it was a knockdown officially. Gervonta could have then responded differently because, let the truth be known, Gervonta didn't even know it was the 12th round when it was the 12th round. He thought it was the 8th.
Forgot where he was at. He thought he was still in the 8th round. He thought he still had rounds to go.
12th round. He said, damn, it's the 12th? Yeah, it's the 12th and you're down. Tank didn't know what round it was. So if it was brought to his attention by Steve Willis that it was officially a knockdown, the fight could have gone differently, making it very difficult to review this after the fact and overturn it. But the problem is still, though Steve Willis did not call it a knockdown officially, he also didn't call it a slip.
You take a knee like that looks like a knockdown.
You had to pick one or the other. And according to the rules, if it's a slip, the referee has to let it be known that it's a slip.
Tank Davis's trainer responded to the criticism, stating that fame always attracts haters and people will always have opinions. He emphasized that no matter what Tank does, there will always be good and bad comments. Success brings negativity, but they remain focused on training, winning, and proving doubters wrong inside the ring.
When it came down to Tank taking that knee, or do you feel like this is something that happens in boxing?
It wasn't illegal, so I ain't gonna say it was a mistake.
That's why I asked you that exact way. Like, do you feel like it was a mistake, or do you feel like, no, this is a veteran move? This is stuff that happens in boxing.
It happens in boxing. It happens in boxing. It wasn't illegal. Just run it back. Just run it back. That's it. That's what champions do. Run it back. Carry that shit like men. Run it back.
Let's talking about that running back, the big rematch.
In the fight between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., many observers noticed that Roach's strategy was similar to Davis's, leading to a fight where neither boxer clearly outperformed the other. Throughout the match, both fighters used similar tactics, making it hard for judges and fans to decide on a winner. This led to the bout ending in a majority draw.
One of the old adages in boxing, one of which is you got to beat the champ to take the belt. You got to beat the champ to take his belt. It's not okay to fight him to an even fight. It's not okay to have do slightly better than him on some people's opinion. If that man's the champion, you got to go out there and you got to go get that belt. That is what many people say. Now, they're very selective with it. When it's their fighter that is playing great defense and slipping punches and winning fights, they don't mind. But when it's their fight, when it is their fighter that is having somebody refusing to fight and kind of standing in a gap and just trying to make it all super technical, man, they get upset. They get upset about it, right? But anyway, you know that rule. So when I heard Gary Russell Jr., one of my favorite fighters, one of my favorite people in boxing, talk about the Gervonta Davis fight, I was like, yeah, man, I think that you're about right on. Because basically what Gary Russell Jr. said is, look, man, Lamont didn't win that fight. Lamont didn't win that fight because Lamont didn't do enough to go get the belt from the champion. And I think he's 100%. And I think that he's 100% correct. Personally, I had Gervonta Davis up a round because whenever you have rounds where nobody's doing anything, I'm not just going to do what most people do, and especially people that don't like Gervonta Davis, which is just give the round to the other guy because Gervonta Davis didn't manage to knock him out that round. Okay, so this is Gary Russell Jr. clearly saying, man, no, I don't think Lamont Roach won that fight. You also had Al Bernstein, and Al Bernstein, I'm telling you, is a very, very straight, fair guy. Who I don't know if he was on that call, but he used to work with Showtime. I don't know if he was on there. I don't recall if I heard him. I think it was Rolly Ronaldo that was calling it. But Al Bernstein, who was a very, very objective person, said, hey, look, no, sorry to break it to you, but Gervonta Davis won that fight. Yeah, Lamont Roach put up a really good fight, but Lamont Roach was not dynamic. He did not do anything to really separate himself from Gervonta Davis. He just kept it equal. He just tried to keep it even the entire fight.
Famous welterweight boxer Jaron Boots Ennis shared his opinion on the Davis versus Roach fight, saying that many people overlooked Davis's dominance in the early rounds. Ennis pointed out that Davis controlled the fight at the start, showing his offensive skills and setting the pace. Meanwhile, Roach struggled to land any strong attacks early on and spent much of the fight defending. Ennis believes that while the fight seemed even later, Davis's early performance should have played a bigger part in deciding the outcome.
Roach, people looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What'd you think of the fight?
It was a great fight. I had it 7-5 Tank, or you can make it the draw. But I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a great job, actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5-6 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating him a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, Lamont did a great job. Yeah,
some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it?
I think so.
Featherweight champion Shocker Stevenson shared his thoughts, suggesting that Davis may have underestimated Roach's abilities. Stevenson noticed that Davis looked too relaxed at times, possibly because he didn't fully respect Roach's skill level. This allowed Roach to take advantage of key moments. Stevenson believes Roach deserved the win, stressing the importance of respecting your opponent's strengths to avoid surprises in the ring.
Because I feel as though Tank didn't understand or realize how good Lamont was, so he kind of was sleeping on him, and I felt as though Lamont was catching him when he was unexpected. So he'll throw, and he not used to certain shit coming back, and when shit started coming back, it kind of like caught him by surprise.
You think he got hurt in the fight?
Hell yeah, for sure. Matter of fact, it was a part of the fight where Tank threw a left hand, he caught Lamont, and Lamont, as he was throwing his left hand, he kind of got hit, but he threw right back. He wobbled Tank, and Tank felt his power.
The New York State Athletic Commission (NYSAC) launched a review of the fight, mentioning possible technical issues that might have influenced the official decision. During the moment when Davis took a knee, the production team's failure to provide clear footage made it hard for the referee to make the right call in the fight.
New York State Athletic Commission is reviewing the controversial, whatever. They said they blame on the production team. The blame is on the production team. The knee, of course, all that. They say the New York State Athletic Commission says they are reviewing the controversial no knockdown call in the March 1st matchup between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Right? They deem technical issues, right? Involving Gervonta Davis taking a knee in the 9th round, blah, 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 blah. A technical issue. So apparently they had AOL dial-up at the Barclays Centers.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, this story gets crazier and crazier by the minute. And I remember when it transpired and we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And nobody was bringing up the fact, and I think if we were the only people that actually brought up the fact that they actually reviewed it. They actually reviewed it after the round.
Yeah.
And stated that it wasn't a knockdown.
Yeah.
So it started. And maybe there was some misinformation, but that's what it was said. That's what they were told. That's what the commentators were told, that.
This situation highlights the importance of accurate and timely video production to ensure fair decisions in boxing. Fans and analysts debated whether Davis's decision to take a knee was justified. Some argued that fighters take a knee to recover. But in this case, Davis did it right after taking a punch from Roach. Many believed it should have been ruled a knockdown. However, the referee gave a timeout instead, leading to controversy over whether the right boxing rules were applied in this situation.
Tank Davis taking a knee should have not counted as a knockdown. I see a lot of people saying and explaining why him taking a knee shouldn't have counted as a knockdown. It was voluntarily, and at the referee's discretion, he can call for a timeout, etc. The problem with this is that they were in the middle of an exchange, like in the middle of combinations. Lamont Roach threw a punch and then he took the knee. That's the issue here. Now, if there was some space, some distance, and he told the ref, hey, give me a second, and took the knee, that's a little bit more understandable. So the people who are saying that it shouldn't have counted, I just think you're completely wrong. You don't just call a timeout. You don't just take a knee in the middle of an exchange, in the middle of combinations. You just don't do that. And to think that that has no consequences is just kind of ridiculous.
Boxing trainer Greg Hackett gave his analysis, saying that to win decisively, one fighter must clearly dominate the other. In the Davis versus Roach fight, Hackett observed that neither boxer fully controlled the fight, making it seem like both were evenly matched. This led to a majority draw, as the judges couldn't choose a clear winner.
It's because if you understand a fight, somebody has to be beating the person to win. Like, you gotta beat them. This was more like an even thing. It was like, whenever Tank go to the body, Lamont go to the body. Lamont go up top, Tank go up top. If Tank throw a combination, Lamont throw a combination back. If Tank throw a single shot, Lamont throw a single shot back. They was fighting at the same pace. It was kind of like Lamont saying, I could definitely hang with you, but it wasn't like I'm gonna beat you the fuck up. It wasn't like that. It was more like, man, I could do that too. All right, show me something else. It was like, you know what I'm saying? He was getting it in though. Tank antics is top tier. Talking to the ref, talking to the fighter, talking to the crowd. His antics is top tier because all of that shit buys him time. All of that shit buys him time and give him time to breathe. Lamont was more like watching him. Lamont was the predator in that fight because we seen Tank. We know what Tank can do, but we don't know what Tank can do when he's not the predator. We don't know what that look like. Let's see what that look like. Let's see what that look like when somebody on Tank ass and Tank was trying everything he could. Man. I mean, every tactic, clean or dirty or crafty, he tried. You know what I mean?
Former undisputed welterweight champion Zab Judah commented on the fight's outcome, accepting the draw but questioning the knee incident. Judah's remarks hinted that there may have been other factors influencing the decision. He suggested there were behind-the-scenes tactics that could have played a role in the final ruling, raising questions about the fairness and transparency of the decision-making process in this high-profile fight.
We know a guy like that in a fight of a magnitude like that, with him knowing the rules and regulation and him being as professional as he is, he know way better than to turn and take a knee because he know that's a knockdown. Unless it really was something that was tragic to what, he had classified it to be like.
He said it was burning his eyes.
So we're gonna have to take that. We're gonna have to ride that out. I know Lamont, everybody not gonna like that. They're gonna say Zab taking sides and all that. Listen, we don't know. We don't know. It wasn't like he got hit or nothing. See, it's the difference if he got hit and rocked and then went down. Then we would hold up. He took it on his own. Hold up. You know what I mean? Like that was. You know what I mean? So you gotta give him that. He didn't do it from off a hit or force or off of force. If force was intended and then it happened, then that'd be different.
UFC President Dana White, working with Saudi Arabia's General Minister for Entertainment, Turki Al-Sheikh, announced a new boxing league aimed at revitalizing the sport by making top fighters face off against each other. White praised recent boxing events, including the Davis vs. Roach fight, for delivering exciting live action. He emphasized that such top-level matches are key to keeping fans engaged and boosting boxing's global reputation.
What's up, fight fans? This is Dana White talking about the changes he's bringing to boxing. He's talking about how all this protect your own undefeated record is going to be a thing of the past. But he also takes a shot at Tank Davis and Lamont Roach and the Barclays Center's main event, their promotional card, how it went. He said that boxing is going to learn how to put on great live events. What do you make of his comments?
Boxing has become this thing where, you have to be undefeated for people to care about you. And that's all going to go. My son just went to that show this weekend. He said the live event was terrible. Disorganized.
At Barclays?
Yeah. Disorganized, and we're going to clean that up. We're going to make the live events great again, too. The run of show will run faster. It won't take 9 hours to see 4 fights. These guys put on a fight and then have a podcast and then put on another fight and have a podcast. The show will run.
Former unified lightweight champion Teofimo Lopez called for a rematch between Davis and Roach, saying he was sure Davis would get a clear victory in a second fight. Lopez argued that a rematch would give a more definite outcome.
Yo, what is it? What did you think about the Tank fight? Talk to me about your opinion. Did he win that fight against Lamont Roach?
Yeah, man, I think that Tank did what he had to do, you feel me? I think that, listen, it's a great fight. Maybe they should do a rematch. I think that should be something that everybody is up in the air, so I think it'll make more sense and more eyes for everybody as well,
Of course, Stevenson was in attendance, so do you think he should get the rematch? How does that fight play out if Shakur goes against Gervonta?
I still think Gervonta will win against Shakur. Me, technically, I just think it like that, but I think all this was needed, for sure. All of it was needed for Gervonta as well,
Absolutely. What about the knee? What about the knee? What happened with the What about the knee?
What's your thoughts on the fight? What happened in Saudi? Me and Crawford? Well, we linked up. I don't know if y'all seen that, but we linked up prior to it, though. So we already had discussed whatever it is.
What you guys discuss?
Well, pretty much he asked me what was that all about. And I told him, well, listen, I'm trying to get a fight with all of you guys.
The fight against Roach turned out to be one of the toughest of Davis's career. Roach's high punch volume and the controversial knee incident tested Davis's endurance. While Davis kept his title, he faced criticism from fans who didn't like his performance, which hurt his public image additionally. The draw ended Davis's perfect record, making this a key moment in his career.
Oh my god, Gervonta just lost his perfect record. His fight with Lamont Roach was scored as a majority draw. Roach threw more punches and landed more punches on Gervonta. Just look at the numbers. And was this a knockdown? Roach after the fight wasn't satisfied and he said if that was scored as a knockdown, he would have won the fight tonight. Gervonta after the fight said that some grease from his hair just got in his eyes and he couldn't see well. Crowd started booing Tank, his own crowd. We all know boxing fans. They love you one day, they hate you one day. That's exactly what Tank said. What do you think really happened? Was that because Lamont is really that guy? Or is it because Tank really needs to take time to himself, retire, go back to school as he mentioned? I don't know. But you go ahead and comment, let's talk about it.